Hello, Redlationship fam! How was your day? I'm Frank, and we're taking the scenic route today to enjoy some truly top-tier stories from the Reddit community. Roll down the window by hitting that like button, and maybe subscribe too? Let's get into today's story. Okay, so today's story comes from the Relationships subreddit. It begins with the title, "My girlfriend, 23, female, seems genuinely disgusted by my interests, and I, 25, male, am starting to feel ashamed of myself. How do I address this? My girlfriend and I have been dating for about a year now. I love her a lot, and I genuinely care about her deeply. I see her as my partner and my best friend, and I have always imagined a future with her. We share similar goals, values, and aspirations, and most of the time, our relationship feels supportive and loving. That is why this situation has been weighing on me more and more, because it feels at odds with how close I thought we were. I am kind of a nerd. Not extreme, but my interests are things like superheroes, anime/manga, games, and D&D. These are things I have liked for a long time, and they are a big part of how I relax and enjoy myself. She is pretty much the opposite. She is more into celebrity culture, going out, fashion, luxury, or trendy things. I do not have a problem with that at all, and I've always tried to be supportive. The problem is that whenever I bring up my interests, she reacts very negatively. She will scoff, say, "Ew," or look genuinely annoyed. At first, I thought she was just teasing, so I tried playing along with it as a joke, but she actually gets upset when I do. She has told me that she finds these interests unattractive and associates them with guys who have bad mindsets like misogynists or incels. That really hurt. I do not identify with any of that, and I do not think my hobbies say anything about my values or how I treat women. I am not asking her to like the same things I like. I just want basic respect and to not feel judged or gross for enjoying them. There have also been moments that make me wonder if this is partly about image. For example, I am using a very old iPhone and want to upgrade to a flagship Android phone. She keeps pushing me to get an iPhone instead, even if it's not the latest model. She says this is because she prefers using iMessage, but in my country, iPhones are also a status symbol. She has mentioned before that appearances matter a lot to her because of how she grew up, which makes me unsure what the real issue is. Lately, I notice that I hesitate to talk about things I enjoy around her, or I downplay parts of myself to avoid that reaction. I do not want to feel ashamed of who I am in my own relationship. How do I bring this up in a way that sets boundaries without turning it into a fight? Is this something that can realistically be worked through, or does this point to a deeper incompatibility? Man, after reading this, I just want to give this guy a pat on the back and comfort him. You know, I've always believed that men are basically just big kids, and those hobbies, superheroes, video games, D&D, that's where our inner child gets to breathe. It's how we recharge our batteries after a long day of struggling with the heavy, boring stuff of the adult world. OP describes how his girlfriend rolls her eyes and says "ew" at the very things that make him happy. That really hurts, because he's not just sharing a hobby, he's exposing a sensitive part of his soul to the person he loves. And once OP starts hiding parts of himself just to avoid a negative reaction from his partner, that's exactly when the relationship starts to seriously crack. I think OP should have a straightforward talk, share his thoughts with his girlfriend, and try to find that common ground they once had before it's too late. A comment has the highest upvotes said, "She honestly just doesn't sound very nice. There are plenty of nice women out there who like the same things you do, or at least can appreciate that you do like them. But once someone starts saying ew at 1/3 of your personality, the relationship becomes untenable. Imagine spending the rest of your life hearing that. I certainly couldn't deal with it." Other commenter said, I think what she is trying to do is keep the parts about you she loves and change the parts of you she doesn't. You are a great boyfriend, but not 100% there, so you are her project to fix. That's why she says ew, to train you away from discussing it, and hopefully, in her mind, get you to drop those activities altogether and pick up new hobbies that are more appealing to her. That sucks, honestly, and not fair to you. You shouldn't have to change who you are so she gets who she wants. And the OP replied that, I understand what you mean, and I think this feels more about image than the hobbies themselves. She has not pushed me toward different or more manlier interests, but she does encourage me to dress and present myself in a way that looks more wealthy, and she discourages things that do not match her taste. I appreciate being introduced to fashion and new perspectives. At the same time, it sometimes feels like certain parts of me are only acceptable if they fit a specific image, and that is what makes me uncomfortable. Another says, I am honestly confused how you even started dating this girl if you two are so different. Like, what do you even talk about? It just sounds boring and demoralizing. And OP says, we actually bonded over food and movies. We're both massive cinephiles. I love cooking, and she enjoys going out to try new restaurants. We also share similar life goals, which makes this really hard for me. The issue isn't lacking overlap, it's feeling judged for my own interests. We get an update from OP, and it said, posting an update because a lot of people commented and DM'd me. We talked. Not just a quick fix to smooth things over for the night, but a real, honest conversation. I told her clearly how it feels when she puts down my interests, that it is not harmless teasing to me. Every time she scoffs or says ew, it chips away at me and makes me more hesitant to share parts of myself. I told her I was scared that if it kept happening, it could slowly turn into resentment, and that is not something I want growing in our relationship. She listened and owned up to it. She explained that a number of people she has met in the past who were really into those same hobbies made misogynistic remarks or acted in ways that made her uncomfortable. Because of those experiences, she built an association in her head. Part of her reaction came from fear. Fear that I might secretly share those traits or eventually reveal them. I told her I understood where that fear came from, but applying it to me felt unfair. It felt like I was being judged based on a stereotype instead of who I have consistently shown myself to be. I reminded her that she knows me well enough by now to know I am not like those people. The conversation got emotional and went deeper than just hobbies. We talked about insecurities, past experiences, and how we both unintentionally affect each other. It got heavy. We both cried. In the end, we agreed to be more intentional with how we speak to each other, including her not dismissing the things I enjoy. Recently, I mentioned that I watched an anime while working from home. Normally, that might have triggered a reaction, but this time she simply asked about it. She asked what it was about and whether I enjoyed it. No scoffing, no ew, just curiosity. It sounds small, but I noticed immediately and appreciated it more than she probably realized. I am not saying everything is fixed, just that it felt like a genuine shift rather than forced politeness. I also want to address something I saw repeatedly. Some people said I am only putting up with this because she is hot, or that she is shallow. Yes, I find her very attractive, but that is not why I am with her. And no, she is not shallow. She enjoys fashion and material things, and that is part of how she expresses herself and how she wants to be seen. She has never been reckless with money and is thoughtful about spending. She talks purchases through with me, whether they are small or expensive. Honestly, I do not think that is so different from how many of us approach our own hobbies. People buy collectibles, tech, or gear because it brings them joy, and yes, they also enjoy when others think it is cool. Wanting to be seen or validated is human. It is not exclusive to one type of interest. I am not pretending everything is magically solved. I just wanted to share that we had a real conversation. Emotions were on the table. Accountability happened on both sides, and I have already seen a small but meaningful behavioral change. I am paying attention to consistency moving forward. Thank you to everyone who took the time to respond and offer perspective.
A commenter said,
I'm really glad to see this update and that it's a positive one. I hope she keeps being curious and open with you. I commented on the original post, and I want to clarify that I don't think she is shallow. I was pointing out the negative stereotype around her interests. Every space has its share of bad people, and it's up to us to figure out whether someone actually fits that stereotype or not. I'm genuinely happy to hear she was receptive and that you were both willing to be vulnerable. This is a small victory, and it's completely okay to feel hopeful about it. It's not easy to stay open and accepting when there is conflict or discomfort involved. Good luck to both of you. I'm sending positive energy your way and hoping things continue moving in a better direction from here. The other expressed that, as someone who is both very feminine and a bit of a nerd, I think this part actually highlights where her insecurities may come from and why you are not like the people she fears. Feminine interests are often dismissed as shallow or lacking substance, which is rooted in misogyny. When someone constantly sees what they enjoy treated as lesser, it can make them defensive or quick to judge other spaces too. From what you've written, you approached this with compassion while still standing up for yourself. You did not ignore your own needs, but you also tried to understand where she was coming from. That balance matters. It is good to see her responding by being more open and supportive in return. Another says, the fact you were able to have such an intimate and productive discussion is a really good sign of the health of your relationship. Wishing you both all the best moving forward. A commenter expressed, thanks for sharing a positive update. When I read your original post, I was concerned that your girlfriend might be too immature for you, but your update shows me I was wrong. Nice to see you both putting the work in. Wow, this is exactly how grown adults handle their relationship problems. It's so refreshing to see. Communication isn't just about talking. It's about being brave enough to be heard and open enough to listen. They could have let pride get in the way, but they chose each other instead. Instead of hiding his feelings, OP just laid it all out there, and his girlfriend totally owned up to her unfair judgments and fixed her behavior on the spot. They showed absolute respect for each other by getting to the root of the conflict. At the end of the day, that's what a real partnership is all about. And she didn't just give a hollow apology. She actually explained the why behind her actions. And that's where the real healing begins. Seeing her show genuine curiosity about that anime, man, it feels like a fresh start. I'm so glad they didn't just throw the relationship away in a hurry. Based on how they handled this, I really hope they'll learn to appreciate each other even more from now on. But now, I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What would you do in that situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Alright, I just want to say thank you guys so much for being here today with Frank. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next video. See you soon!